Canyon are the title sponsor for one of the most distinctive pro cycling teams around, with some of the most talented and successful female riders. They've been riding, racing and winning on Canyon bikes for the past 2 years, but bikes technically unisex that are made for the taller and heavier riders than the average female cyclist. Behind the scenes though, Canyon have been working hard to create these, a dedicated range of truly women-specific bikes. So before we dive in and actually find out what this is all about, we need to address one important question, which is, what do women want? From a bike, of course, otherwise we'd be here all day. So I'm here with Daniel, the product developer at Canyon. You've been heavily involved in the project to develop these women's bikes, and throughout my career I raced often on men's specific bikes, so I'm actually really interested to see your reasoning for producing these frames.
Yeah, that's a good question. So first of all, we started to ask the question, what are the difference between men and women? So we gathered a bunch of data, so overall it was around like 60,000 data sets we gathered, and we actually analyzed them. In the 50th percentile of women compared to men, they are 15 centimeters smaller, so they are lighter as well, so 7 to 8 kilogram in the same body height, they are lighter than men. Another difference was the arm length. So arms of women are usually like up to 3 centimeters shorter, and that was one main reason why we changed the geometry of women's bikes. So all those points we found out during post-processing the data led to the new geometry of women's bikes. We try to fit each specific body reference. We've got one specific body reference height for each size. So we try to ensure that the torso angle and the arm angle remains the same during the whole range of frame sizes.
Riding the Ultimate Carbon Fibre size XS. As you'll notice, these wheels are actually standard 700C wheels. However, the two smaller sizes, the 3XS and the 2XS, have the 650B size wheels. Canyon are the first to admit that this isn't the first time a bike manufacturer has actually made smaller wheels. It's often seen a lot in mountain biking. However, this is the first real time it's been used for road cycling. They've also not only developed a top-of-the-range Ultimate frame, but they have two more, called the Endurance, one carbon fibre and one aluminium. So one of the main differences is the smaller bikes that you've made, you can really see the smaller wheel size. And what was the reason for Canyon actually doing that?
Yeah, one of the biggest issues we were facing is that we couldn't create a bike as small as we like to. So now we are creating a 3 extra small, that's even one frame size smaller than we had before. The reason is that women are actually smaller than men, and we wanted to fit actually as many women as we could on a bike. So we started with the body height from 1 meter and 52 centimeters. So each woman which is bigger than that can ride a bike right now and is getting the best performance out of the bike.
So you've got the smaller frames and the smaller wheels, but how does this actually benefit women riders, like from a performance level? And do the smaller wheels actually affect the way, the handling of the bike?
Exactly, you're right, it's affecting the handling. So one issue you have with the big wheel sizes, if you build the bike very small and very short, you have big issues with the toe clearance. So this is one major reason why we have to change to the smaller sizes. We are facing a difference of up to 2 degrees in the head tube angle, and this in the end results in a trail difference on the ground of 20 millimeters. And this means that if we are reducing the trail on the ground, this means a big change in steering handling, and you can actually be more precise and more dynamic on the road.
So you've got all these different smaller wheels sizes now, but actually how easy is it for people to buy the wheels and the tires and everything for these smaller sizes?
Yeah, our product management, they really faced on this topic. So we got several different companies which are supporting us at the moment. So you can easily get 650B wheels from the standard aluminum wheel up to the high-profile carbon wheel. So, and currently we're working with brands like DT. Then if you need the tires, we've got Conti and we've got Schwalbe, and they are working closely with us. And you can get every component you would like to, as you are getting it at the moment for 700C wheels.
So having ridden this bike all afternoon, I've found it to be really agile, it handles really well, and it's actually really enjoyable to climb on. And I haven't finished climbing yet. Canyon decided that their current range was overbuilt for the majority of female cyclists. They simply don't need to be as stiff. That means that the frames can be made even lighter, 50 grams in fact for an equivalent size, but maintaining the same stiffness to weight ratio as the current model. Part of that is a result of smaller diameter tubes, meaning less material, but also meaning that the frame is more aerodynamic too. On this Ultimate Women's bike here, Canyon say it's actually 3% more aerodynamic. It's fantastic to see a brand that invests so much in women's cycling back up their investment in women's racing, producing a range of new women-specific bikes. After all, who wouldn't want the promise of a better handling bike? If you want to see more from the Women's Canyon SRAM team, make sure you subscribe to GCN. For a closer look inside Tiffany Cromwell's kit bag, click here, and for a more in-depth look at bike geometry, click here.